Hey everybody, DayTraderRockStar here with the HPS 10-4000 watch list, also known as the high probability watch list. And this is a members only watch list, but usually the first part of the video we send out to the general public to describe some of the techniques and some education and maybe even some of the setups. But most of it will be on the part 2, which will be containing the stocks for next week and stocks we'll be trading. Right now we're looking at a Friday morning trade. The market has opened up and we are negative on the day. This is after a week filled with a lot of news. We just recently had Trump's tax plan unveiled, and we've had news on the federal government being shut down. There's all kinds of things just kind of in 100 days. There's just a lot of things out there. Market here right though. Excuse me. The market holding up pretty good. We're going to start off by just taking a look at the overall charts. Now this is a 5-minute chart. I always take a look at this. Nice little wedge pattern breakout. This was a beautiful 5-minute divergence yesterday, which we were actually in, and got a little pop on it. Or actually got chopped out and then got back in it and then got a little pop on it. But the fact is that 5-minute divergence is one of the best setups for the biggest moves of the day. It doesn't come out every single day. It does not show up all the time, but when it does show up, I definitely point it out, and we have to be on top of these. So there might actually be something here starting to form here. So if it happens to set up here today, you're going to actually see some live trading, and we'll actually take this and I'll show you how effective it is and how much money you can make off of it. But we really need to see that 5-minute divergence. And so let's just take a look at the S&P right now. That's the 5-minute. We always take a look at the daily. In the daily here, it's a lot of scrabble on the bottom here. Don't matter that. These are just trend lines I put in and a lot of crap. But I could clean this chart up a little. Maybe I should do that first. Boom! I just cleaned it up. So, when we look at a blank chart like this, it's not bad. I mean, you can see this is a kind of a choppy section of the markets here since March. We could actually draw kind of a little trend line down here, and then just kind of, you could start to see a range-bound trade, which we call a parallel channel. It's a sloppy one. It doesn't confirm, but you know what it is? It is that directional downward slide. The top trend line here probably giving us the most, information. The bottom here is hanging loose in case we came down to it. Right now we actually have a dual 5-minute, 3-minute setup. This is a rare
3-minute by signal.
This is a rare signal I get. And if you go on Twitter, I'm going to try to pull this out. Let's see if this actually shows up on Twitter. Yes, it did. It just came out here on Twitter. The Rambot buy signal. This is a special signal. You can get that if you, the Twitter account is at DayTradingRadio. DayTradingRadio is the Twitter thing, so keep an eye on for that. Now, like I said, this is a big signal and just happened to be coming out right now. So let's go over here and take a look at what we could see. I'm not seeing any visual divergences here. The important thing for me is a visual divergence. A visual divergence is something where we could compare the low and the lows of the price and the stochastics. How a divergence sets up. Basically, that's a lot of the education that goes on here. I feel like I always repeat myself by talking about it because there's always new people out there. But there's a very important technique that I teach, and it's a divergence technique, and it's based on a bottoming process, but being able to see the momentum shift before the price moves. And that's very easy to identify if you know what to look for. So just continue to listen if I don't go over it right now. The setup here, we're going to go back to that 5-minute chart, and we'll look at the daily. I want to go to that 5-minute, and the key here is, and what we're seeing is the divergence is what that Rambot, and that's actually an exclusive kind of bot that we have on our dashboard. Our dashboard is a member's dashboard, and let me bring that up on the screen for you, show you where you can actually see this. normally, if you're listening to day trading radio, you're looking at a basically you're looking at a bunch of commercials. Sometimes the commercials come up. You could skip over the commercials. It's the blog, it's trade history, it's everything that, it's a great thing. But there's a lot on the inside. Like we'll skip that ad, and that's what you're seeing. You're seeing our dashboard. You can't really tell much from it, but once you log in here, and I want to fix that. I like being able to see it a little bit better. Then you get our dashboard. Our dashboard is...
I love this. This dude is awesome. This Andy dude.
All right, there it is. That was Paul on the mic right there. But I want to just kind of pause that for a second and kind of give you a little tour of the dashboard here. Here you have your audio sections. You have news. We have the pit news. You hear the pit there. We'll listen to a couple of these things that you're going to hear. I'll put the screen back on here, but I'll turn off Paul. All right, here's your news channel. So when there's breaking news, our partners at Benzinger, Mr. Land, or own Mr. Land, started here at Day Trading Radio. We'll squawk in with live news. You have to really be listening to it to hear it, but it's a great little feature. Of course, we have music playing, so sometimes you could actually hear that music and adjust it here. Let's see if there's any music playing. There is. You hear it in the background. Probably a little Van Halen. But you could pause that. And then again, the pit. I think, honestly, I think Ben is on vacation today. Yeah, he is. So, but on the bottom here, we have what's called the Rambot. And the Rambot signals, and you have all the trade alerts. So if we're into trades, you'll get the trades here. You get the bots there. You get the news. If you could get rid of them all, and you'll just have a blank slate and say you want the trades. Any trades we're taking. Those will be listed there. And the HPS setups with automated trades, and that's really the key part of the site. It's the HPS setups that I do, and I'm doing on the video right now. But this is the first part of it, and of course news, and then other things. So we have all that going on. And like I said, there's a big signal here. It's a buy signal, 3-minute buy signal. It's a good one, and that's where you see this. And I like to just kind of scratch out the 1-minute signals and just keep the 3-minute buys and sell signals. So you could even go down a little bit further and just cancel. But now the market here kind of sneaking away from us.
5-minute buy signal.
There's your 5-minute buy signal. It happened just live right there. You see it just pop up there? And then we just got a text, because that automatically gets sent to your phone. If you want it that way, you could have it text. And these things are so powerful that once we get that buy signal, you hear those crickets in the background, you adjust that. That's buying pressure coming into the market. So I'll pause that. But look at the results here. That buy signal came in, boom! It shot right up here. Plus the 3-minute, 5-minute buy signal, it is unstoppable. Really a great setup. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out. You happen to see it live, that 5-minute buy signal come across, and then of course you could see the results from that. And we're going to go back to the chart here. Sorry for my sloppiness here. I'm going to get the SP here. And you can start to see this on the S&P also. So you have this low right here. And then you have a slight lower low right here. But as you can see, we started to turn back up on the top stochastic band up here. And there's another one down here. I used 2. And as you can see, once you start to get that turn back up, you have that divergence between the lower low and the price and the higher low in the stochastic. So usually a great setup. And that's, you put your stop in right below the recent low. That's a strategy stop. And then it's good to go. And that's a good shot. And most bottoms are made during these divergences. We had a nice bottom yesterday I was just going into detail on that we were in. And this one looks pretty good on a 5-minute time frame. But now I would have to chase it here. and doing that live. I'd rather just taking that setup here. Let's see what happens with it. See what happens with this setup. I'm going to wait for the next next real good setup here for us, and then take it, because we are doing research right now. But it just happened to be having an alert happen live with us. It was a Friday. So let's get back to the markets here. We had that little divergence. We were talking about that daily chart, and we started off seeing that downward channel, and we recognized that downward channel earlier, and it was a pretty decent move up. This we had the French election news that spiked this up. Then we had the tax related news, or the tax plan news, and then we had some follow through, and now we have a little consolidation. But we're at all-time highs, people. It is April, whatever it is, 28th, 27th, 28th, and we're at all-time highs, historical highs. You're trading at historical highs. Do you honestly think this is the highs it's going to get? It's not. This market's probably going to go much higher. There's a chance of some news, smacking us around a bit every so often, but the formulas are set to push this market higher. Just a matter of identifying where the best time to get in is, and identifying these divergences. Like right here, there was a beautiful divergence here, 11 to 12 o'clock, higher low, low, lower low, and then that big move. We were actually in this one yesterday. Also a wedge pattern breakout in the channel. So that's all about the HPS methodology. The methodology, HPS methodology, is basically 5 important indicators. The foundation indicator is the stochastics, but we also use what we call trend lines, recognizable patterns. Not every pattern is a good pattern. The wedge patterns are a great pattern, and divergences happen in wedge patterns. So when you have this combination, it's just a very powerful move. Now, here we have a little divergence here, maybe playing out. We don't have the same pattern, but the whole thing with the HPS is that you have to have 3 or more indicators lining up for it to be qualified as an HPS setup, and from that point on, we have all kinds of ways of trading it. All right, so a little basic, background there as we go over the markets. Like I said, there's not much here on the chart to tell us that we're extended on the daily. Normally, we'd like to be in the market as the stochastics rotate up. Understand that when the rotation is down, they're selling in the market, and we start to see that slow grind down. It is about that. That's as simple as it gets, because you don't want to, go against the market vibe. If you feel the market is strong, you want to be on the winning side, and you want to take those longs. If you feel the market is weak and is pushing back down, then you want to be short. A lot of people try to counter trend the market, and that's fine on a short-term basis, but pay attention to the bigger trend overall, because that's where that's where you feel more comfortable, is knowing that your position is overall right, but you're going to get a lot of chop in it. And this breaks down to all different type of traders. You have scalpers out there, you have swing traders, you have position traders, you got IRA, just investors. The HPS is probably most important for those longer-term traders, because you don't have to deal with the ins and outs of these, different time frames that I deal with all the time. We could go out and show you exactly, where to get in on a long, and we'll, and again, that's coming up on the second part of the video for those longer term trades. We had a lot of earnings out this week. Just yesterday we had Amazon, AMZN, big gap up. It's starting to pull back a little today. I mean, individual traders could be trading this to the downside, just kind of selling the news here. This could put a little pressure on the market too, as we gap up strong and then kind of just drift lower. We had that. We had Google, which I think is holding up a little bit better. Big difference between where Amazon is and Google holding that 20-period moving average with a fast rotation. Now, it's a $913 stock, but typically this is a good signal right here. So if you trade that using options, or however you want to trade it, those are some things we look for. But we have a lot of influence in the market. INTC got hit. It gapped down. It chopped around. Is that going to be an opportunity down the road? Probably. There is a couple stocks I'm going to get into in a bit here. I see them talking in the chat room. about Korea's missile launching and parades and possible nuclear stuff. And I saw a tweet yesterday from Donald Trump saying there is a very, very good likely we're going to be in a major conflict with Korea. And I ran to take a look at the futures because I didn't know what the context of that statement was. Like, wow, he just said we were going to be in a major conflict with Korea. But Donald, he tends to throw out these statements that kind of
ES tradeometer oversold.
You take everything with a grain of salt. Well, anyway, you could actually see this actually breaking back down now. So we had that signal, it popped, but it did not get any follow-through. It did not get any follow-through. The overall trend is down here. And we just got our first tradeometer signal. Now the tradeometer, this is really our first one. We have to make sure there's no news here that's affected. We see volume starting to pick up. The tradeometer, which I'll drag this over here for you so you can see the signal. This is the ES signal. Nothing on the NQ, but that little dot right there is our first, and you can see the arrow pointed there. This is what the tradeometer looks like. That's a part of day trading radio also. We did get our first signal there. And that is, pretty good signal. It's based on multiple time frames. It measures a lot of different things, cash, ES, and it's, there's an algorithm involved that is very important. So we trade off of that a lot. But we also have to understand, is there news surrounding the market? Is there anything here that is causing the market to break down and hit this area? Now, this is not a bad tradeometer signal. I'm going to actually take this.
Order filled.
I want to go up here. All right.
Rambot 1 minute buy signal.
Alright, and I want to show you the trade because we took it on my AB. You can actually see it on the chart trader here. And we're right down here. And this is just basically on the tradeometer. I just took this on the tradeometer. Basically flat right now. I want to manage this. Normally, if we had a divergence setup, which I strictly take divergences mostly in the on trading the ES, but like I said, I was kind of itching to get some trading in today. The tradeometer is really our first buy signal of the day, so I'm willing to give that a little shot. Maybe we get a rotation back up to 81. It'll be fast in and out. There is a line underneath this. What do we got underneath this here? It looks kind of sketchy. Oh, it's a pivot. Is it a previous low right underneath this? Now we've been being rejected at that 50 and 20 period moving average. Like I said, the tradeometer is first alert of the day. A little bounce on it, not much. Trying to get a little positive here. Not here. No, I turned off the crickets. So let me put on the crickets. I'll put them on over here. Because I love hearing those crickets. Those crickets, the buying pressure, selling pressure in the market is it's good. It's good. I love that little app we have, or a widget we have on the site. So I want to hear some crickets. Bring me some crickets. Now I'm only in here on one contract. I'm half trading, half doing a video. So I'm only kind of testing out some of this. I might even get out here if it doesn't seem to hold up. It looks like the trend is down. So if their first tradeometer signal does not want to give us anything more, and we start to hit that low, I'll probably be out of it and wait for those divergences. But this, we want to see how these tradometers, they usually are spot on, and like I said, we could easily get a nice move. We have a small trend line building. Let's go back down here for a second. This is where that tradometer signal came in. Again, watch the 20 period moving average there. That has been a key resistance right now in a downtrend. But I want to show you this possible trend line that's starting to develop here. Oh, not a circle. We're going to drop it. Well, I see a nice trend line on top, so that's the main one I want to worry about right now. And I'm going to drop a parallel line based on this one. Clone that basically. And I'm going to drop it to the low pivot here and see how it lined up with that trend. Oh yeah. So it pretty much lined up exactly. So this is what we call a 1, 2, 3 channel. Establish 3 pivot areas, 2 on top, 1 on the bottom. The 2 on top make a straight line. You need 2 points to make a straight line. And the 1 on the bottom, let's bring it back up here now so we can follow the trade a little bit closer.
3 minute buy signal.
Now we have a buy signal too, which is kind of interesting. Let's see if I could put that F2 here. If we could draw that channel line there. I don't know. Then we have to draw. Some things I'm not familiar on this. Copy. Paste.
NQ tradometer oversold.
It looks like we have an NQ set up here. Notes out. Ow. I gotta wait on this now. Giddy up. Here comes the crickets. I feel the crickets coming. Come on, crickets. Give me some push-ups. Now, key number one. One thing I will do lots of times is if we get a full rotation on this and we get up to that 80 line fast, we're not really moving here on the ES. We're chopping around and I'll sell this and take it off, whatever it is. If we get that move up, we get up to that 20 line, the trend seems to be still down. Unless it was a divergence. And again, like I said, we did have that divergence signal. I got to look at it a little bit more. We're starting to go into positive territory on this now. And we'll go back into this a little bit more detail. If it does, I'll go back and show it to you. I want to... So hard to juggle both of these things. And it really is. SPX. Alright, it's getting a little bounce. 5-minute chart here. Alright. Come on. Let's do this.
UK Serious Fraud Office confirms that it has opened an investigation into the activities of KBR. UK subsidiaries that
I put it in a dollar amount so you could actually see it in the dollar amount better.
Related to the SFO's ongoing investigation into the activities of Unit Oil. That
Hear Mr. Land in the background.
report was in the company's filing earlier. That was in a 10Q filed this morning. Shares off the lows now at $14.89.
Now, of course, you increase the contract size, you'll increase your profit loss size. So 2 contracts instead of 25 would be 50. Well, each point brings you 50 per contract, so think of it that way.
NDS rather, November Victor Sandy, Nevada's out with a press release now.
Now, we're not seeing much happen here. Market here still looks kind of weak.
They had newly diagnosed FLT, the mutated acute myeloid leukemia, and 3 types of systemic mastocytosis. That's November Victor Sandy, Novartis.
I'm going to go have. Well, we're starting to see some selling. You can see how we started rotating back up. We're still, we still just got oversold on the slow stochastics, and just sort of pointing a little bit higher. This might be a little chop here. Plus, we have that trend line. There is lows underneath us too. I don't have the pivots on this. I don't think I have the pivots on this. Oh, I do. It's right there, the main pivot. Support 1, support 2 is down here somewhere.
ES Tradeometer oversold.
All right, so we had our first. All right, this is not bad though. I mean, I'm not saying that it is a good situation yet because market does feel a little heavy here. Let me get my circles here. We had our first tradeometer signal here. And then we just had another one right here. Get used to the circles here. So we just had a tradeometer here. It would push us back up. We just had another one. And I like that second one a lot. I like it. We got oversold quickly here. Look how fast we got oversold here. It's actually a nice sign when we see a fast rotation and price holds above the recent lows. There's potential here.
Rambot 1 minute buy signal.
Now we have a 1 minute buy signal, which is a 1 minute divergence set up here, but yeah, be careful on those. Those are hard to see sometimes. You really have to, let me check that to see if it's a valid one. No, it's not one that I would put too much into. It actually still looks a little weak here. There's a little trend line underneath us, but we're going to hold on to this for now. We're right at the lows. Remember, we did have that tradeometer signal. We are oversold on multiple time frames. The bad part of this, and I'm looking at Kellogg right here, getting a little bounce. Kellogg here approaching the highs of the day, showing good relative strength on Kellogg. Let me just bring Kellogg over on this screen here, because I am definitely interested in Kellogg. That will be on the probably watch list for next week too. Come on, let's get this thing going. This salmon color line really represents our positive negative line.
YM tradeometer oversold.
Oh, come on. That's why it's Whitney Resorts here pushing the highs of the session. You hear those crickets in the background? That clicking sound. Excellent, excellent little audio indicator. You know, so if you're not near your computers, you have that playing in the background.
5-minute buy signal.
You're in the kitchen, whatever. You hear those crickets. You run back in. You hear a Rambot signal. We just had a 5-minute buy signal. Everything here looking good for a breakout. Now, if we can actually see the divergence here on the 5-minute, which I really cannot do, but we're gonna look on the 5-minute futures chart here. Now remember, that divergence would represent a lower low and a higher low on the stochastics, and I'm not really seeing it here. I'm not seeing the divergence. It doesn't mean that we're not heading up. Lots of times we'll have a divergence just because the prices move around quickly, and sometimes you could actually see the price move up or the stochastic move down, and you just not notice it on the chart. But the Rambot doesn't have to look at it. It actually is always constantly measuring the price and how the momentum in the oscillator is working. So it looks pretty good. Again, we're break even, up 1250. You know, I like to call these, $20 bills trades. You know, not to say we're going to say $20 out of it, but lots of times you'll get a rotation here. That rotation will be for, I would say, on an average 3 to 4 ticks or a point up to a point, but usually over 2 to 3 ticks, and that's the key. Lots of times you'll get a rotation back up if you're in, and that gives you 20, 50, $62, whatever you're getting on it. You have to realize, hey, that's the market's going to go down, it's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to go up, it's going to go down. These signals are going to tell you where you're going to get in, but you also pay attention to the signals telling you where it's going to come down. So you get a rotation up, and you're able to lock in $20, and you do that 4 times. That's not bad. Now multiply that by how many contracts you have. That's the the high probability way of trading. Some people think that's a little fast, not giving enough time to run, but that's the strategy on a 1-minute time frame. You could apply this same strategy on the 5-minute time frame. So when the 5-minute time frame now is playing out in your favor, which it is right now, you have a 5-minute setup. You're oversold. You have a possibility of that 5-minute here rotating up and really starting to get aggressive, but we also get this rotating back up. 200 period moving average right above us.
Order pending.
I'm gonna put a sell order up there. There might be a shot of actually breaking through this channel and getting back up to the main pivot area. I do like that 5 minute is on our side right now. The 5 minute is starting to turn back up slightly. We get one little pop here out of this. You know what? I might even take it off and just manage this by myself.
Order canceled.
I'll take that off. I want to manage this by myself, meaning I'll take it off if I feel, if we might get just a big pop right out of here up to 82, and I just don't want to be, you know. And again, 36 minutes going by, we're holding on to this trade, and we're break even. That's the problem sometimes doing these trades on the video. They take up a lot of time. Sometimes I like to pause it and come back and update you on it. Sometimes I just have to go on and continue doing my research because time is going away. Now the market here kind of rotating back down. Remember what we said? Your signals are here. It's obvious. It's an obvious signal. Maybe it gave you $12.50. Maybe you're able to get $25 out of that or whatever. But the fact is now we're extended on our 1 minute time frame. And lots of times that is, you know, look, extended, pullback, overextended, or the bounce, push up, turn back over, push down, turn back up, push up. If you could get in on the turn back up, you get 20-something bucks, you're good to go. The key here now, the 5 minute, underlying 5 minute, the bigger time frame. And lots of times you can even look at that slow stochastic all the way on the bottom to kind of give you that understanding of the bigger trend. That might actually be starting to turn back up here. So there is a reason why I am looking at this to pop, because of that 5 minute time frame. That's the only reason I would hold this as the rotation got extended, and normally this would be our exit. So this could actually pull back a little and then bounce back up, or even pull back, but we'll still hold off the recent lows and then we'll continue moving up. I have a feeling that we're actually going to pop up here a little just on that 5 minute. The 5 minutes about to pop. We need something that's going to give us a little pop on that 5 minute. Unless there's news out, news could be a problem. I should start concentrating on some stocks too. The Kellogg is looking good, but that's going to be again for the members coming up. Another great thing about the tradeometer, I mean, we point these out. I point these out. Paul points them out. We point them out real time, even though it's a premium product. We do like to point it out because we're so, it's when we're able to put a circle on and see the market react from that level and kind of say where we're going to go from that. That's valuable information for a lot of people, and we wanted to show how important it is to have that tradeometer on your side. You might have another totally different trading strategy. But to have this as even a confirmation indicator, I mean, I'm saying things are lined up. What is the tradeometer? The tradeometer is giving you a buy signal, and your methodology is lined up and sound. It's giving you a signal. Then all systems go. So sometimes it's just a great confirmation indicator. All right, so what is this telling us? Market's on hold. That's what it's telling us. What a slow day to show this trade. I don't know how it's going to play out here. I want to get working here. Just like to get a little pop on this. Now, another interesting thing is kind of reading a roadmap of this market. The roadmap is always leaving, we're leaving this trail, and the trail is our oscillator underneath this. And we've studied this for many years. So many years that you wouldn't even believe me, I told you. So over those years, you realize certain things happen over and over again. You'll see a consolidation here. You'll see a tight consolidation, yet you'll see the stochastics pull back. That's a positive signal that this is going to pull back. It's not pulling the price back, and we're going to get a pop here. Now, you're up 25 on that 37.50. Normally, I would take it off here, up against the 200 period moving average, but we're starting to break out of this channel with a 5-minute setup. I think we could take that $50 right there.
Order filled.
High took alert.
All right. High tick alert. It could go much higher. It can go much higher at this point, but that's the type of trade that we want to take off the tradeometer. And this is probably a little volume coming in here. Let me double check this. Now, why did I take it off here? Because I got to get working. I got to start my research. I got 10 hours of research in front of me. And I usually to watch that. And I have to.
U.S. Senate passed continuing resolution on budget on voice vote.
Let me bring up. Actually, I want to show you something else here on this. I want to bring up a moving average here, an exponential moving average.
Shares of Tesla moving to the highs on some volume now.
There's Tesla. Tesla taking off. My 200 period moving average I usually put in as red. Do I have this as exponential? With EMA exponential bar close. So it's a red line. I'm going to apply it, and you're going to see it. You're going to see it pushed up. We're right on the 200. No, actually, it's not the 200. Let me fix that.
Tesla spiking.
Tesla spiking here. Apologize for that. I'll look around for these. We have to move that. We have to make that to 200. 200. Apply. All right. So there's our 200 period moving average. That's another important moving average to have on the screen. It's still underneath our main pivot. Anything under the main pivot is a negative signal on the day. Even though we are getting a bounce up to it, there is a kind of a bearish overtone of the day if we're trading underneath the main pivot point of the day. The 200 period moving average is still underneath that. Doesn't make a difference to me if it's underneath or over the pivot, but I do pay attention to that 200 on our first attempt of that. And when we break out of a channel like that, just to give you a different look at this, we're bringing it down to this chart. We had that 5-minute on our side. That's why we decided to hold a little bit longer. And we still have that 5-minute rotation. You see that 5-minute rotation, a very slow rotation. It's a much longer, type of trade versus the 1-minute fast rotation up. But it was also up against the 20-period moving average on the 5-minute, and that's important to me. And again, this type of market on a Friday, kind of sketchy, kind of weak. You take your buy signals, but you take them off faster. It's not a strong trending market where you get a little pullback and you hold it on to it longer. You take it, you see your signals, and you take it off, and you move away for your next signal. This is a business, and I'll leave you off with that. Treat your trading like this was a professional business, and you have a business plan. And your business plan says, all right, I have my tools. I have my divergence. I have my tools. I have my setup. I have a recognizable pattern. Everything is defined for you. The methodology is so defined that it tells you when to get in and when to get out, and why you should get in and why you should get out. That is your business plan also. And greed, fear, hope, all these other things destroy that because you hold on to things longer. Yeah, you could get lucky. Like I said, this could move higher. This could be the lows of the day, and people are going to be leaving me comments saying, "Oh, you could have held on to that much longer. You should have had the multiple contracts." The purpose of this right now is to show you the short-term micro entry levels. You know, why the 1 minute and why we pay attention to the 1 minute. And this was based off a 1 minute time frame. I liked it going higher because of that 5 minute rotation. If I had multiple contracts on this, you would take one off here, you would raise your stop to break even, and then you would follow the other one up. So it's always better with multiple contracts too. All right. Well, I'm sorry that the video took so long. I hope you gained something from it. This is what we do each and every day at Day Trading Radio. That one trade made you $50. That pays for the month of Day Trading Radio. Imagine doing that 2 or 3 times a day. But again, it's not as easy as I just showed it, because you know what's going to happen? You're going to be bored. You're going to be saying, "Oh, I need to get in here. Oh, I want to trade. I have this button in front of me. I have cash available. I need to be in all the time." No, you can't. That's going to eventually burn you out and burn you up. The great setups come out, you know. They're defined. I know what the great setups are. Once we get them, we take them off. A business plan. All right? Anything else, you could get lucky. You could gamble. That's what casinos are for too. This is a true casino, the markets. You never know exactly. There's no truth to anything in the markets. Anyway, that's enough for me. I'm going to get working on the HPS watch list now, and we'll see you in the markets. I'm DayTraderRockStar for Day Trading Radio. If you like trading, join us here each and every day, and we'll see you in the markets.